see if I can get this camera right. My intentions is to do my first live video that doesn't take 20 hours. Just coming in to share this little transmission, seeing some correlations coming up. Dealing with victimhood, dealing with depression. Right now, stepping into a place where we're realizing to not be given all this external blame. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you know, it's getting real in the sense of not externalizing our blame and being aware of our energy field and what's going on with our energy field, things of this nature. So we're going to tap in. Also going to bring in the esoteric perspective of, anxiety and depression as well. But jumping right into it, with solutions for depression, and shout out to there's this lady with a channel called well, her name is Tracy Marks, and it's like a psychology channel, but I came across it, and she had a video about how magnesium helps with depression. And so, I went looking into my little crystal book and stuff like that, and and I saw some again correlations that basically brought forth truth of past situations, you know what I'm saying? But to get into it right quick with the crystals, uh pneumite and serpentine. So pneumite and serpentine are two crystals that have a high magnesium content, some of the highest. Matter of fact, stitchite and serpentine, pneumite, kimberlite, richterite, tremolite, chlorite. Let's see, ophicalcite, olivine, and serpentine. Now, olivine is also like peridot. It's basically closely related to peridot, and that yellowish green color in general, helps with the liver detoxification. And also the liver metaphysically it stores emotions. Like our liver physically stores emotions, so whenever we have like emotional buildups and stuff like that, it's all stored in the liver. Hence why it'd be great for us to have a lot of, if we're, regardless, I mean healthy in general, but definitely if you're dealing with a lot of emotional situations, or you're dealing with emotional fluctuations, uh having the lost my train of thought that quick. Having the emotional fluctuations, taking care of the liver basically, and detoxing and taking in your dandelion roots, your burdock roots, but basically those herbs that help with, the liver. And again, you see like the magic correlation why they talk about, oh, use burdock root and dandelion root or this herb and this herb for this spell or this ritual. It's all interconnected, even again down to the crystals. But on a simple level, helping with depression, eating more magnesium or more magnesium intake. And it's not about to be no super science vibe from the diet aspect, but pumpkin seeds, and then also almonds. Almonds have a high magnesium content, and which almonds may not be on Dr. Sebi's list, teaches on how you deal with your diet and what you're eating and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of different at the way we how rigid we are in our routine of what we eat in essence. But helps for, basically it dampens the receptive, or should I say like our nervous system, its ability to pick up on electrical synapses is kind of dampened by magnesium. And right quick, we're gonna go into a few from the book, reading on the health aspects of magnesium right quick. Magnesium helps to loosen It loosens cramps and relaxes muscles. It is the antagonist to calcium, which means it hinders blood clotting and all kinds of processes connected with stimulation and secretion. So calcium helps with blood clotting, and magnesium helps to prevent blood clotting. It helps to promote, uh, more secretion. And no coincidence, matter of fact, being in the Scorpio season, we talk about Scorpio, and the Scorpio secretes something from its tail, and the root word from secrete is secret, and getting to the truth, So like again, like a little drop, like the secrets in essence is that little drop of liquid, to secrete, to push through that insight and that truth, So magnesium though again helps to hinders blood clotting and all processes connected with stimulation and secretion. And also you get to see how magnesium or just how elements in general in the body, like I think of it like an anime cartoon, Like magnesium is one character, calcium is one character, and for the most part, they have like a job description that kind of clashes, but at the same time, if handled in harmony, it could be beautiful for the whole body, and that's the name of the game right now is harmonizing in integrity, We're not fighting against our shadows or fighting against our negativity. We're embracing our shadows, embracing our negativity, understanding it better. That don't mean we're being negative, all the time in that sense of it. It just means that we do embrace that aspect of our being because that's a part of the wholeness you know, of who we are, and the wholeness of our experience. And one thing I realized with the aspect of healing is that, a lot of our trauma, in essence, was created in actions that weren't out of love. So it would be foolish to think that what's best right now, as this paradigm shift, you know, the best thing would be to learn how to unconditionally love ourselves, and that still means discernment. That doesn't mean like, oh, I've just let anything and everything happen to me. No, because again, when you love yourself, you are more aware and you are allowed to be more discerning, so you could be aware. All right, this is not best for me. This is, what I'm saying. But again, it's like bringing in that vibe of unconditional love and acceptance. But back to the magnesium. It increases blood circulation and makes the walls of the blood vessels tough and elastic, improving functions of the heart muscles. It also promotes tough and hard bones. So magnesium also helps the Saturn energy in the body because we could look at the bones. It's the Saturnian energy, So magnesium helps with that. It also involves, a matter of fact, and even with improving the function of the heart, you could look at magnesium and the beginning words of it, magnet, like magnet, magnesium, magneto, magnet, magnesium, all connected, you know. But magnesium helps with improving the function of the heart muscles, And you think about the heart muscles, what it do? It pumps iron, you know what I'm saying? Just like, in essence, like the Ogun energy, and pumping iron is also like pumping the Mars energy, So again, just seeing that with these quote unquote what we may call medical terminologies and stuff like that, what I'm saying, is the esoteric real energy is, underneath the story of it all, what I'm saying. Think about, Osmosis Jones, if you're not familiar with that movie, check it out. But Osmosis Jones, and then they tried to do a little show similar to the movie Osmosis Jones called Blood Cells at Work or something like that on Netflix. But basically like personifying the job of a blood cell in the body, and they turned the body into a little city. What I'm saying? Because also it would be dope is a like a new Osmosis Jones, but a spiritual version where instead of like a white blood cell on the body, it'll show like a pranic energy in a chakra, and what it goes through, moving through all the chakras when somebody breathes. Oh, we're going up into the crown. Oh, he's exhaling, going back down. But you could use your own imagination with that. But again, With the law of correspondence, one of the universal laws are quote unquote hermetic principles. Again, it allows for you to dive in with understanding yourself without having to do much external research. Just by uh, having some insight come to you about some process of the inside of the body. If it happens on the inside of the body, it happens on the outside of the body. You know what I'm saying? There's a storyline. If it's happening inside, there's a storyline for it externally on a mythological level as well. Again, anatomy is mythology by law. Back to the magnesium. On a psychological level and mental level, magnesium is calming and relaxing. It promotes peaceful disposition and is effective against nervousness, fearfulness, hypochondria, schizophrenia, and it dampens excitability, irritability, and aggression. You know, and it's gonna get into the medicinal aspects as well, cause for one, it helps with suppressing the nervousness again because it dampens the ability to receive the electrical surges, and I'm gonna get into that. Matter of fact, let's see. Magnesium helps regulate serotonin, so it helps to regulate the our feel good hormone. Serotonin when the sun rising and we wake up. That's why a lot of us like to be where the sun is shining a lot because that helps to promote a lot of production of serotonin. Uh, and let's see, and magnesium helps with maintaining the electrical stability of our nervous system. Now, I'm not going to go too far off right now into this, but I see a correlation with electrical storm monster, amnesia, and MK Ultra, but mind control and electricity, is kind of correlated. And I think about like how our environment is promoted to have so many electrical devices around us instead of like being closer to nature. It's like a lot of computers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And being aware of that, because that's another thing too. I call myself like not going too much down the rabbit hole. Because right now it's like, and at least for myself, let me speak on that. Is getting to just really understand myself and focus on inner solutions. Like, I don't want to be out here like trying to chase, oh, what they doing, what they doing, what they is like, man, what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's also another way to defer and get lost in all kind of shit other than your spiritual growth and what you got going on for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Cause again, it's very important that we understand, for our own unique experience, why we chose to come down into this realm in this incarnation in this lifetime. But again, with the magnesium, it helps to maintain electrical stability of our nervous system. And from the movie Stranger Things, show with Loki, where in order for them to get out of this realm, they had to go through this electrical storm. Uh, it's on the show Saving Dion or Raising Dion, based on a comic book with the little melanated kid who had the little superpowers or whatever. So you had that correlation there, but it was like always this little correlation with this electrical storm, and then from Manchurian Candidate and other little mind control movies and things of this situation, is electricity involved, like trying to like zap the brain and trying to trigger certain, commands in essence, or create certain programming through the electrical surges. And, it makes sense why, again, like why the unhealthiness or a lot of electronics is promoted. When you think about the hospital, like the healthiest place for us is to be born closer to nature without all that, artificial electricity and things of this nature. Now, as I say that, that's another thing that's important right now, is to not be against artificial intelligence. Again, it's almost like, not necessarily throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but, it's like hating the creation in the essence of it didn't create itself, technically. You know what I'm saying? So why I hate it because somebody is using it, for unhealthy reasons. You know what I'm saying? That's no reason for me to hate artificial intelligence or be against artificial intelligence. You know, just really thinking about, you know, just the perspective of, past lives or dimensional jumping or timeline jumping, it's like seeing how it makes sense. Like, all right, this time we're not going to be against the artificial intelligence in that sense. We're just going to be aware of how to harmonize ourselves with it, you know what I'm saying, to the best of our ability, because now it's the vibrate, you know. It done reached this point already. We got to work from where we at right now, to switch things up. But also, so staying on the magnesium, and I'm gonna still get to the other aspects. But with basically with magnesium, the lower our magnesium levels are, the more stress and anxiety that's causing the body. And what's funny is when we're under physical stress and anxiety, cortisol and adrenaline is increased, which is very, unhealthy to the body. It kind of causes us to get all, jittery and things of this nature. And then as we have that anxiety, it promotes the release of our magnesium. So when we have, moments of anxiety, moments of depression, but more so anxiety, it releases our magnesium. So we're depleted of magnesium. And again, that's where it comes in to bring the magnesium into our diet or work with magnesium based crystals. Because again, like when I look back at working with Numite, like I think about like, out of most crystals, I can say that, I remember always having a lot of poise whenever I was working with Numite. It's like I could be staring one of my toughest triggers in the face, you know what I'm saying? And still stand my ground, just on awareness level, bodily, what I'm saying, on a bodily level, I wouldn't feel, all jittery, so I really see, and Numite, basically has, where I'm at. Numite has, so in crystals, you have frequent components, smaller components, and trace components. And meaning like, frequent components or frequent elements, smaller elements, and trace elements. So these crystals I'm naming have magnesium as the frequent components or the main components of the crystals. So again, Numite from Greenland. Because matter of fact, shout out to enjoying the mistakes we make. You know what I'm saying? I just ordered some Numite, but come to find out it wasn't from Greenland and it was some copper light or copper night type of crystal, something like that. But I was like, hey, well that's cool. I get to really see the difference. It's like I'm being taught, on multiple levels from getting the quote unquote wrong one. You know what I'm saying? But well, it was the wrong one, so it wasn't what I was looking for. You know, because again, like the Numite, the Sorcerer's Stone Numite is only mined out of Greenland. You know, and it has a particular look that's different from Copper Night and Copper Light, or Copper Night, Copper Light is the same thing, just different spellings to it. But again, the Numite has 7 magnesium molecules along with 5 more. So it's like Mg7 plus Mg5, and then serpentine is Mg6 plus Mg6, so it's 6 and 6. You know, and then another one that it made sense, after I saw it. Peter site has 3 magnesium molecules in it. So Peter site is real great, and that's what I wear with my root rakshas, as well. So that's real great to stabilize our energy field, calm down the nervousness and anxiety on that level as well. But and to the let's see. Magnesium also makes us more resilient towards stress. So again, magnesium helps with the resilience towards stress and dealing with stress, because again, as it dampens the receptors of like these strong, excitable energies, because again, like we dealing with, and that also comes up too, like we're dealing with lesson loops, you know, like again, when we come across certain situations that is there to teach us something, if we don't catch the lesson, end up looping back into that situation. And what could also happen too is anxiety is caused by that loop, you know what I'm saying? Because we're feeling like, oh shit, I'm not catching it. Like it'll cause more anxiety because you feel like, damn, I'm not catching this lesson loop. Like I keep finding myself, in this the same area, so to speak, And again, like is this also goes into confidence and stuff as well, which we'll get into. But let me finish reading out with the magnesium. So magnesium also promotes a positive attitude towards life. It helps us to accept ourselves for who we are and to love ourselves. It helps becoming a beacon for cheering people up. So not again like being a beacon because we can't actually technically cheer anybody up. Nor can nobody technically cheer us up. That's an inside job. Our happiness is an inside job, and so for others themselves. And it also encourages others uh encourages others to cheer up and have that atmosphere through our own aura. So just by people connecting with our auric field, they'll have that, they'll feel that connection. But that goes without saying. Now another crystal or another element I want to bring up with healing, again like energies of anxiety, depression, but also this one like if you have dealt with like gaining mental stability because again magnesium helps with mental stability as well because it helps with schizophrenia, and schizophrenia, and I realize I don't go along with the doctor Grey's Anatomy doctor system or the regular psychology system. It has been proven to not be accurate by the book. It just off of the strength that you have indigenous people and beings that's been living way before this little psychologies came up and stuff like that, and they're doing very great with themselves. Uh, Shout out to the Sentinel Island people, even smart enough to not even let nobody on their island with the foolishness. But with being too technical with these terms, again, like schizophrenia basically again is like not say a blown pineal, but it's like your pineal is open, your radio to the ancestors is open, but it's like ungrounded. So it's like those phone calls coming in any and every moment, and you're lacking awareness of how to stabilize that. So that's basically what some may call schizophrenia. Because another thing that you know uh is unhealthy about that whole psychological system is like it doesn't really help you. It basically like again oh uh like it doesn't give you the remedy like, oh, you crazy, you're schizophrenic, let's put you to the side and then shovel all kind of unhealthy medicines into your system and shit like that. So that's why I'm not with anything though. Once you start to get into your subconscious magic and things of this nature, you start to see like, all right, a lot of this shit is actually magic spells that are harmful towards your spiritual growth, you know what I'm saying, and trying to box you into these quote unquote sicknesses when it's not real sicknesses. And some of them actually are part of the awakening process, you know but it's all put there to again to create a situation to make you think that something is wrong with you. But again, with the solutions for depression, and anxiety, eating more magnesium or working with your magnesium based crystals. And again, I already said Numite and serpentine is one of the top two magnesium based crystals. I'm gonna go through a few of some that doesn't have a high content but nonetheless has magnesium in it. Gabbro or indigo gabbro, so no coincidence, mystic merlinite along with numite, you know what I'm saying? Like both connected with your tapping into your magical energy. And that's another thing that makes a lot of sense. It's like, the top crystal with this magnesium in it, is also known as the sorcerer's stone, and real good at manifestation and synchronicity, so you start to, see the little correlations. You have a galaxite, seraphonite, which is like the green, known to connect with the seraphim or the angelic energies. Being aware of what beings and angelic beings you're connecting with, of course, you know what I'm saying? We're not playing the gullible game out here, it ain't just like, oh, like the specific ones that we connect with in certain moments. Because again, the name of the game is harmony, is not to be at war with ourselves, and at the same time understanding, what aspects of ourselves we're working with and when we're working with it. You know what I'm saying? Nephrite jade is another one, and nephrite jade is also popular for like real good for protection from external influences and protection from like the blackmailing energy. And again, as I say that, like the gaslighting video and the psychic attack and psychic vampire energy, it's protecting you from falling into a victimhood vibration. And we're gonna get into that. It's like preventing you from feeling like a victim so you won't attract these energies that could try to blackmail you. Because the only reason why somebody would be in your realm, are allowed to quote unquote blackmail you is because you allowed yourself to be blackmailed due to a lack of confidence, or or some type of fearful vibration that got you, again, attracting that. Because again, you have to be a vibrational match to it. If it's happening to you, you are a vibrational match to to it happening to you. It's not, oh, something out to get me, or on that level, like none of that. And again, now more than ever, you don't want to be creating no you things that's not recognized as how real I imagine. you know but all right, back to the crystals. Biotite, actinolite, lazulite, which is a part of what's in lapis lazuli, hornblende, diopside, augite, anthophyllite, magnesite, dolomite, lemon chrysoprase, rhodolite garnet, and spinel. Then for the crystals that have like at least 2 to 3 magnesium molecules, you got phlogopite, Hermanov spear, you got steatite, or aka soapstone, or talc. I done made beads, matter of fact. Soapstone, has a high magnesium content as well. Pyrope garnet, I spoke on Peter's site. Hawk's eye, which is related to Peter's site. Uh, Uvite tourmaline and Dravite tourmaline. Is also great for that as well. Oh, and something to add too, and go check out the separate video, but lithium-based crystals is also great for anxiety and nervousness as well. But definitely magnesium-based crystals, but it'll be a good combination to have like a lithium-based crystal, so a lepidolite, or matter of fact, like I got a hiddenite right now, green hiddenite, but it's like a green sputamine, so a crystal from the sputamine family, which could be kunzite, hiddenite, hiddenite going to Mars, with hiddenite, and again with, that's why I kept circling. Petalite, is another one that has a high lithium content. And also, something just told me to add this into this too as well, with emotional health, and dealing with the Lilith and Cancer energy. So if you got the Lilith and Cancer placement, graphic feldspar would be a great crystal for you. And that's again moonstone mixed with smoky quartz. And one of the main things be stealthy. You know, it does give the warning of like, hey, this don't mean go try to do all kind of, fucked up shit, and of course we're aware of that, but sometimes you just gotta give those it's like, hey, fair warning. But of course it's beneficial though for us doing our shadow work, like being undetected when we're, having to go into those darker places, to deal with facing certain energies. And now that doesn't mean that we hanging out in our shadows. And to each his own, because I realize depending on your astrological placements and stuff like that, we all different on how we do our shadow work, and how deep we could go into it. I'm saying that all varies, but at the end of the day, we all have to do it. In some way, form, or fashion. Is facing our shadows again, because even the analogy of it, for your light to shine bright, if there's a big ass light, guess what comes along with a big ass light? It's a even bigger and darker shadow, you know what I'm saying? So being aware of that. But graphic feldspar again would be a great crystal working with that energy of again transmuting deep emotional traumas, you know, and being able to work on those areas, because it's like sometimes you might be working on those areas, so you kind of close to that vibration. Like an example would be like, all right, I'm doing inner work with a situation from my past, and I'm just working on that, you know what I'm saying? Tapping in, focusing on that. But since I'm like, you know, in that vibrational dimension of that trauma, other little energies could pop up like, hey, almost like, hey, what you doing here in this room? Like, what you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that type of energy, you know what I'm saying? So this allows for you to, almost like go on your internal rescue mission without being detected, you know what I'm saying, in that sense. Because again, it's all parts of you, but you don't want to be overwhelmed with parts of yourself, you know what I'm saying? So that helps for you to not be overwhelmed by those parts of you that's in that dimension where you're doing that shadow work at, like a little relic on a cartoon again, And shout out to Demon Slayer for leaving that little saucy little tidbit. I saw one of the episodes, and the main character, I don't know his name yet. I only been watching a few episodes, but after he had slashed one of the demons, he let the demon know. For one, he showed the demon, like, cause like our quote unquote demons are those shadows, are those aspects of self, that's pushed away, aka they're pushed away, neglected, and think about how would you feel if you was just neglected and treated and like you wasn't shit and pushed to the side, and uh he was fighting against this demon, matter of fact, that had some drums in his body. That was dope, and he could change the way the room shifted through which drum he patted on. But basically, in essence, it showed like he kind of tapped into that demonic behavior because his dad didn't appreciate the artwork that he was doing, and he didn't feel appreciated, and he was looking for that appreciation, you know what I'm saying? Because again, when I realized, when you think about like exorcisms and what we call like, like slaying demons and stuff like that, it it comes off as a battle in that sense of it, but it's actually like having to, show that demon some love in essence, because again, like right after he kind of slashed him, he had let him know like, that's some beautiful artwork that you did, it's like in a sense, and too, just like how we be having to do, it's like, although I got, I'm moving forward, so I can't be holding on to these unhealthy energies, so I gotta slash you. But at the same time, and also I gotta slash you because you're coming at me like, as a energy, you're hindering the whole harmonization of the body, at this point, again, like a certain unhealthy habit that we may have that, we show it love, but it keep like swinging haymakers at the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole situation. So, it's like, but basically he put the demon down and he's like, bro, your art is beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And I love it, I appreciate it. And like right before, the demon kind of like finished disappearing, his eyes turned regular and he was crying like tears of joy, you know. And what I saw basically was the transmutation process again put into a cartoon, literally, And again, like mythology and anatomy, you know what I'm saying? Like this was a story of psychology personified into, the act of quote unquote demon slaying, So and that's something I like. I like the cleverness of shows being able to, bring forth those types of points and stuff. But continue, because I'm gonna do this before an hour, I promise, without rushing it. But again, with the solutions for depression, eating the magnesium or working with your magnesium-based crystals, and also intermittent. I forgot how you say it, intermittent fasting, but basically like where you fast, like you have a given period of when you're eating. So instead of like a full-on fast of like nothing the whole day necessarily, you eat at certain periods of the day, every day. So it kind of creates like a fasting period, because indirectly it's almost like a 24-hour fast if you like eat at the same time every day. Like if I eat at 1 o'clock today and never touch anything else until 1 o'clock tomorrow, that's a 24-hour fast, and technically I'm still, eating as well. And intermittent fasting has been proven to help lower stress and anxiety and cortisol levels as well. So, no coincidence. I even again like picked up on that on my growth. So picked up on rocking with the new mic. Also pumpkin seeds, because I remember like I gravitated towards pumpkin seeds like a lot at one point in my growth. Now kind of seeing it in hindsight, But again with the fasting and literally on an esoteric level, when you're dealing with, trying to stabilize your system, what I'm saying, internally, again, like the foods we eat and all these different things have, certain energies connected with them. And depending on, where it comes from, it could also have an entity connected to it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be afraid of or scared of at this point. Again, like we know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like even down to that's why companies are created in that way or with the name entities or what I'm saying, or a company even being called a corpse, a corpse, for an entity to occupy that corpse or corporation, you know what I'm saying. So even in the talk of of business and all this type of stuff, it's all about energy and entities, because again, like our unhealthy habits could become like an entity, you know what I'm saying, like an unhealthy eating habit, like a sugar hankering close to at night, that becomes like an entity, and when that moment comes, when that quote unquote what we call hankering, again, like seeing the like on a human level, you could call it a hankering for sugar. All esoterically, you know what I'm saying? You could say an entity is looking to eat, you know what I'm saying? Either way it go, whatever's best for, you to work it out, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I know I definitely, and I'm getting to a place where I'm starting to like integrate the human perspective with the esoteric perspective, but the healthy perspectives, from like basically seeing like how certain quote unquote diseases or certain names that we call for certain things on a deeper level is something connected with certain entities. Again, like with depression. And matter of fact, shout out to Conjure Queen, because she just brought that up recently, and that's what added for me to really make this video, because I had been researching and writing on this myself about the magnesium. So it's like, all right, that was kind of like, hey, bro, you quit sitting on that shit. Quit sitting on it. So intermittent fasting, eating magnesium, definitely great. Now getting into some other aspects to help with, again, anxiety and depression, and for sure anxiety, embracing death and uncertainty, you know, and that sounds like broad and like, oh, how is that? Well, again, a lot, you know, again, it's either holding on to the past or future worries, but in most cases, it could be worries or uncertainty of what's to come, you know. So it's like embracing death and embracing uncertainty, because that automatically comes with, living in a quote unquote bodysuit, you know what I'm saying, is having a transition. So embracing the perspective of, death and uncertainty, you know, and as far as like any exercises, like I wouldn't be able to think of any, exercises except for just sitting there with the concept and just accept, like, quote unquote, meditating on it in the sense of like sitting down and like, like, no, like, bro, this bodysuit gonna have to go at some point, you know. Now is the vibrate. That's another aspect, like to help as well as to be present, you know, like our awareness to focus on what we love, in the moment. But again, like just being present, like now's the vibrate. Our past or our future doesn't exist in our now moment, and that's what creates a lot of anxieties or depression. You know what I'm saying? It's like worrying about what's to come, you know. So doing that. And also with anxiety and depression, being aware of ourselves. Depression can come from not knowing what to do with ourselves, quite literally and figuratively speaking. You're depressed because you like, you don't know what to do with yourself. You see, and that's another thing, not comparing yourself, because you may be comparing yourself to others and what they got going on, and I should be doing this, and all those type of energies that just cause, again, like unnecessary stress. You know, so just with understanding that, oh, my fact, I don't have to see. Because that's another thing, like we could fall into, again, like building our self confidence. Because when we don't know ourselves to the fullest, we don't have a plan. When we don't have a plan, we feel uncertain, you know. It's like, oh shit, I don't even know what's to come because I don't even know myself and I don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a solution to help heal it, is to do some journal work, or some, or just sit down with yourself, see what it is that you really love, see what it is that you're really great at, see what it is that you gravitate towards, you know what I'm saying? Write a list of the things that uplift you, write a list of the things that don't uplift you, but get to know yourself better, you know what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of depression and anxiety comes from a lack of understanding ourselves, and with that, that creates that, that boredom or that idleness as well. So being aware of that too. Of course, gratitude for what's going well. So, and this could go in the same energy of focusing on what's going well, but definitely gratitude for the things that already are going well, for the things that are running smoothly, like, and paying attention to that. It's like as you build a habitual nature of being present, as you build a habitual nature of uh gratitude for the things that's going well, again, that just becomes, your habit. Like, becomes a habit. Like, oh shit, you just automatically wake up and like, oh, bro, I'm grateful for that spoon. I understand. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, I'm grateful, and like have fun with it, cause you could find that you could be genuinely grateful for some things that seem silly, but is something to be grateful for, you know what I'm saying? Being your own best friend. Don't beat yourself up about, what you're dealing with and going through on your growth. So, being your best friend. Because one thing I realized a shift in like mind noise and energy. The more I unconditionally love myself and be observant in those moments where things uh may tend to, you know, get a little turbulent, as I would like to call it. Get a little turbulent. You know, that's when you get more observant. Like you realize, all right, I am not these turbulent thoughts. Let me observe them. I won't judge them. Observe without judgment. You know what I'm saying? And on the next day, you find like, damn, it's not popping up like it was. Well, because you observed it instead of fighting against. You observed it instead of fighting against it, and you observed it instead of identifying as it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what basically helped the situation. Excuse my look. Speaking of fasting, you know. But so again, being your own best friend, also building confidence. Again, confidence in your now moment to prevent from ruminating about the past or looking for some type of escape through the future. You know what I'm saying? Again, these types of energy breed anxiety and worry. So build confidence in yourself. And a solution for confidence building is create little small tasks and complete them. You know what I'm saying? Like any little small task or anything that you want to complete. You don't have to make it a big project. Find a little portion of it. You know what I'm saying? Break it down into a portion. If it's a puzzle you doing, do a corner piece of that puzzle today, you know, and finish it. And also what'll help is if you finish well beyond what you plan to do, but just finishing what you plan and mark that off on a checklist. You know, if you got great memory, you don't have to write it down. If it helps, write it down and then come back to the next day and be like, bro, I'm grateful for finishing off that corner piece of that puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, building that up, because right now I'm seeing that, it's very important for the universal that first came out that was very strong at, like, because one of my first things was, for one, like being very impactful. I wasn't looking to be quote unquote famous or popular as much as I wanted to be extremely impactful, and also though focusing on solutions, so it's like, of course I bring up what we need to be aware of what's going on externally when it's time to be aware of certain things like that, but for the most part it's like just working, the inner work, because the inner work is what's going to shift the external realm, point blank period. It's like the quantum physics of it. It's like our inner world creates our external world and creates our experience. Because another thing too, realizing to not get caught up in, again, like, oh, so and so trying to do this to me, or these people over here, like, no, that's you, that's your own, and you don't want to, again, like, be aware, like, you are attracting these people, places, and things, so you have to tap into your inner work to see why you're attracting it, and to, again, shout out to the power of now. It's like transmuting the unhealthy ego. Yes, we do have a part of the ego that is healthy for our experience in this lifetime. It's transmuting the unhealthy aspects, that extreme, separate energy and extreme competition energy, you know what I'm saying? So breaking out of that. And also with anxiety and depression, you know, and it's another thing, shout out to Tracy Marks bringing this up, was safety behaviors and maintaining phobia. So another thing that may keep anxiety perpetuating and depression perpetuating is dealing with safety behaviors or avoidance behaviors, but basically anything to avoid, escape, or reduce the severity of a perceived danger, you know. But what happens is the fear and anxiety is reinforced by the avoidance, because by avoiding, you turn those unknown factors to even bigger monsters. So, the more you escape or use some type of safety behavior or excuse to not face a certain energy, like you're scared to, because that's another thing too, to remember and get to that, not being in victim mode. If you walking around as if, and I did a video about that a while back, or I can't go around those people over there. They're not woke enough. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't. You know what I'm saying? They gonna mess up my energy. You know, that within itself is like bam, you know what I'm saying? Like that's you being unwoke and you're being a toxic person in that perception or in that perspective, you know what I'm saying? Now of course we're aware that a person that might not be in the highest alignment for us, you know what I'm saying? Of course, that could be a thing, but a person is where they should be, and there's no way that being in alignment with source, is that unpowerful to oh they, you know what I'm saying, because of them, because literally you gotta understand what you're saying in that moment is that my external realm control me, like literally without saying it like that. That's what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be aware of these things. Aware of these victimhood type of perspectives and mentalities and how that kind of keeps again those anxiety and depression cycles perpetuating and going, as well. So again, facing these fears, uh, and not letting it turn into the big bad wolf because you're just letting it, sit there, because even for myself, a part of falling back from doing videos and just a lot of social media stuff is aligning myself more. Because again, I did want to be more aligned. I found where I wasn't in a space where I wanted to be in to present videos, so I wouldn't present them. And early in the game, I let y'all know like this shit is self help. Like I'm not your preacher or like like again, I am on my growth just as much as you are and sharing insight and experiences that that could help you on your growth. But again, like it's not no vibe. Like of course I hold myself on a accountability level too, since I'm doing this YouTube channel and have this platform, of course, just peep in and like, hey y'all, peace. Everything is well. How y'all doing? But for the most part, not letting it become like something to that nature. Because even when I think about that, like, uh, am I really here to be like on demand on that level? Like, and again, like, here it is where we still be dealing with certain things and then trying to be all this shit externally. It's like, man, do our inner work. You're more valuable to me and other people when you're valuing yourself and valuing your inner work and taking care of yourself and loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the healthy message of the Aries energy is to like, hey, like I ain't gonna be mad at you if you take care of yourself and and focus on your self-care and learning about yourself. Like you doing that makes this place a better place. So by all means, I'm not gonna be selfish in a vibe of like, oh no, you got like, bro, no, like what I'm saying, tap in, do your inner work, you know. But also, oh, almost. Let me see. I'm gonna close it out on an hour. Let's see if I can do it. Victimhood. Basically how to identify and remedy victimhood. A few little tips. Uh, to identify a couple of ways you can identify that you're probably in a victimhood mode. Most things will have a negative tone to it. You kind of feeling negative, like, oh, like that's, like you just kind of got like a negative tone to the perspective of dealing with your environment. Uh, you're asking why from a place of questioning fate, like why life is tough on me and why others got it like this, and like that energy might be in the victim mode. Ruminating over past experiences, lingering and replaying old thoughts. And in most cases, it's going to be negative thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Constantly ruminating from the past and things of this nature. You may be in victimhood mode. Uh, a lack of self-worth, you know what I'm saying? Again, going back to the confidence is as well, you know what I'm saying, with the anxiety loops. But again, another way you're able to see if you may be in victimhood mode is if you're lacking self-worth. You're not valuing yourself or valuing your quote unquote time or energy better said, but that lack of self worth may be a sign of being in victim mode. And the first emotion that you usually have may be one of anger or resentment towards towards yourself or towards others and their successes. So if you find yourself like being a little resentful or envious towards seeing everybody else doing a thing, what I'm saying, that's probably because you're sitting around in victimhood, not doing what you're doing, just spectating and talking shit about, in your mind about what they doing and stuff like that. So again, you gotta, tap in and do what you gotta do, because of what has you spectating, and why, and why you're even able to sit down and able to see what somebody else doing to that extent is because you're not sitting down doing, your inner work. You know what I'm saying? So that obvious fact and perspective as well. Now, with the solutions to bringing yourself out of victimhood, first and foremost, just simply reminding yourself of your W's. Reminding yourself of all those wins. Although again, like the gratitude, creating a habit of appreciating the things that are going well, the things that have been going well in life. Again, all those W's, all those, and realizing too, start to shift the perspective that everything is a W. Like, start to realize, man, no matter if it's a positive or a negative situation, I'm learning from it, so I'm always winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, even something right there, shift, all of that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And again, well, valuing your triggers. When a trigger come up, oh, I appreciate that because I'm getting to learn about myself, you know what I'm saying? So, shifting that perspective along with, again, like paying attention to all the W's, that's a solution that definitely help strengthen your confidence and willpower. And I kind of spoke to this already, by creating small tasks that's easier to complete and build momentum of constantly, training our mind to see how, like, a subconscious, look at this list. I finished bap, 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 bap. I finished all that, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't gotta always, again, you ain't gotta overwhelm yourself at your own pace, but making sure you find little ways to prove, to your subconscious that, you're getting these things done. Uh, Helping others, you know what I'm saying? Being able to give to others and helping others meet their needs, you know what I'm saying? Because another thing that could be a sign that we're in victim mode is being extremely needy. That extreme Libra energy, you know what I'm saying? The codependence, coming up. So definitely be aware that you may want to do more giving, making sure that you're giving, and understanding that, the receiving is a byproduct automatically. So, it's going to come back. So, giving more to others would be a plus. I already spoke on this gratitude list. So again, like, listen to things to be grateful for, and a key aspect, and it's kind of like the shadow work aspect of it, is getting closure on those past hurts. Those past people, places, and things from past traumatic situations. Forgiving yourself and them fully. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened too is like, it's not a full release or full forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? So it keeps kind of popping back up, you know what I'm saying, for you to feel some kind of way, and sometimes it may be subtle where you're not really, it's not so strong, but it subtly pops up and you subtly kind of get into a anxious or depressed mode. So, and again, just by, and simply put too, with all of this work, awareness be the first step. Like, once you become aware, and once you're aware to observe without judgment, the biggest shift that happened with a lot of stuff for me is when I became aware, or had the ability to be aware without judgment. And when a negative thought would pop up, I could like observe it without judgment, and at this point sometimes laugh, because that also helps to like bring some laughter into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, laugh at it. Now, this is another thing too, as I'm saying this, this is not to try to force yourself to be happy whenever you're going having a moment of sadness or anger or things of this nature. You gotta allow for those emotions to play out and come up. You know what I'm saying? I did a Patreon video about it. I may have something on YouTube about it, but the ways of becoming emotional intelligent. And every now and then do an emotion check. Ask yourself how you feeling. Whether you set an alarm on your phone like every so many hours or just in general, just get in the habit of like, all right, what I'm feeling right now. And definitely after you see yourself, especially if you go into a certain cycle again, an unhealthy cycle. Not even say unhealthy, but you go into a certain repetitive cycle again. It's like, all right, what was I feeling right before I went back to that store and got that ice cream again? Like what I was feeling like. You know what I'm saying? What was going on inside me? And again, you'll start to see, because one of the things I realized, this energy or this quote unquote unhealthy entity, likes to move in stealth. And whenever it's pointed out, it kind of like drops it. Or it's almost like, wait, let me get still. Like, and the more you have that awareness, it stops it from eating. And the more you practice certain habits that that kind of in essence starves that energy or entity, the less it could have power to be so strong. And again, that's another thing with fasting, healing our gut, on that level as well too. But definitely, again, a couple of solutions. And just a general, again, like right now, being present, like a few of the things that I got. And this is a general thing. I feel like I wrote down because I was looking for a bunch of things to write down in general. Because also like looking at little perspectives for books and stuff like that. Like what are the main things on your spiritual growth? To really tap into in essence. And just a few that just come to mind in essence. Some of them may be repetitive. You know, but being present in your now moment, learning about yourself to the fullest, being in, unconditional love or unconditional love in general, or being in the state of unconditional love and acceptance, being non-judgmental, not judging yourself. And different people, the English language has so much back and forth with the word magic. Some people may use the word judgment as intuition. I don't. Judgment is more so like, oh, that's bad or that's good from my perspective and how I use it. So, when I say no judgment, that doesn't mean that you're not discerning, and that you're not using your intuition. Like when I think of discernment, I think of intuition, so I don't necessarily think of judgment. When I think of judgment, I think of the human level to say, oh, that's fat and I don't like that. That's ugly and that's, like that type of that type of judgment. But staying away from, judgment, uh, tapping into being your unique, authentic, and genuine self, no matter what, how much it makes your own old, because it starts with you. What makes it uncomfortable first is that it's new to you. Like when you start to be the authentic, genuine version of yourself without all the past programmings, it's like be it, you know what I'm saying? Like it, because again, like what'll happen is also we'll find a way to try to defer. Like, oh, I'm feeling their energy is being uncomfortable. No, that's you being as you feeling uncomfortable because you're, again, like, and I always spoke on this because it's the sense of you feeling uncomfortable with standing in your power. You know what I'm saying? So it's, they might feel uncomfortable about it. So let me, like, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like, it's very important for us to stand in our power right now. You know what I'm saying? As I say that, that's not from an ego perspective of I'm a chosen one and they're not and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really subscribe to, that type of energy, because I understand that for whatever chosen ones there are, if you just align with your spiritual growth and do what you got to do, if there is a certain chosen set of people, it's going to show, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the case may be. And I don't see no healthiness in harping on quote unquote like, oh, I'm a chosen one and they're a chosen one. Like that's a me thing though, you know what I'm saying? To each his own, because I catch myself as I'm like making fun of it. No judgment to those who may, look at it from that perspective. Also, detachment and being lighthearted, like letting go, like understanding that a part of this matrix is it promotes a lot of energies for us to hold on to and attach to. So, we want to make sure that we're doing the energetic work to detach, be more lighthearted, like don't be so hard on yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, like just simply like if it's not working, if it feels like you gotta force it, don't, you know what I'm saying? And facing fears, of course, one of the top aspects of the spiritual growth. And basically live the life you love, you know what I'm saying? Being of service due to the alignment of you being you, you being in alignment with who you are, you know what I'm saying? You're going to living the life you love by, you know what I'm saying, by doing what you love. And automatically, by tapping in with your inner being, you're going to be of service in a beneficial way in some way, form, or fashion. I mean, shit, even if it's simply being somebody who's aware. So, when you come across somebody, they could just feel that energy when they come across you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or get a little tidbit from you from a conversation, whatever the situation may be. You know, it helps. But that's basically it. Uh, 7 minutes. It is what it is, though. You can't put no little parameter on source energy like that. But yeah, definitely just again, like I've been seeing, it's like, and you start to see your soul purpose. It's like it just keeps coming back. The more, I would want to shift to other things a little more, which, I am finding myself being a little, being more like water in the sense of not being so rigid about like doing my videos and stuff like that, knowing there's other things I want to present and do, or should I say create, you know. But yeah, just seeing the importance because I'm like, damn, bro, there's you know, a lot of little spell work and just all kind of stuff going on, so I definitely want to just put it out there for everybody to, tap in to the inner work and share some again, like not just saying, hey guys, do this, or I should say, hey guys, this is what's going on, but hey, these are solutions that can help you right now, you know what I'm saying, that you could apply to your now moment, so definitely want to share that, so most definitely. And again, remember that new might and that serpentine. That's again magnesium based crystals. Gonna be great for tapping in with that energy. Now I'm gonna kind of set up for the next video, cause oh, and one thing too before I go too that I had to realize, man, with spiritual practice awareness check. Like do a spiritual practice awareness check on yourself in the sense of like, do your spiritual practices and beliefs help you and others, or is it harming you and others? Like, is it cultivating courage and uncertainty? Is it helping to cultivate compassion for yourself and others? Is it helping to cultivate healthy expression of your ego? You know what I'm saying? Is it helping to cultivate continuously learning, to know that you're not a know-it-all, you know what I'm saying? Like that's key. Is it helping to cultivate harmony and integrity? Is it helping to cultivate like an energy of not trying to change people, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me try to fix them or let me wake them up, you know. But being aware of this, because if our spiritual practices and beliefs brings us to a place where it's more, harmful to ourselves and others, then, we have to be aware of that. Because again, there's certain perspectives, like again, because, melanated people's spiritual test is holding on to past traumas of slavery and stuff like that, and continuously like replaying that, you know, like yes, we're aware of what the ancestors been through, and we, give thanks and things of this nature, but you know, it's not from a place of unhealthily holding on to that energy. You know what I'm saying? But again, because it's like, because I see where like that's holding on just from a observant. I see like how it could be like kind of petty energetically. You know what I'm saying? And we have moments. We're in a human body suit. That's a part of. We have those moments. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a part of the growth is unconditional love and acceptance, and you know a part of it is accepting the parts of our humanity that hey, I am in a human body in this lifetime. You know, and embracing that. But again, like where your spiritual practices, because again, now this the parody of saying like, all right, is your spiritual practices and beliefs to help you and others or harm you and others? Because technically, even when you're helping yourself and others, if somebody is not in alignment with that energy, it could seem like it's harming them. So like if I'm doing something to raise the awareness of, you know, not drinking alcohol as much, you know, if a person is attached to the identity of being an alcoholic, they may feel like they're being harmed in that moment. You know what I'm saying? In that essence, so from that perspective, it has like a parody. But again, for the most part, doing our spiritual practices and beliefs should be something that's, helpful to ourselves and others. Like it should be allowing us to be more harmonious with others, you know what I'm saying? Because I realize even for myself, that doesn't mean I gotta always be trying to hold conversations with people and be out and about. But at the same time, like, and I had to peep that. It's like, all right, I'm being the toxic one if I'm out and about and like, oh, those humans are those people and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, like, why? Like, I want to love my life and live my life. I'm not here to be all petty and rigid and holding on to some old shit. Like, and as I say that, it's a continuous growth, and, again, like having to work through those energies so there's no judgment towards that energy. It's just seeing like, all right, yeah, that may be an unhealthy energy that I don't want to, hold myself in attachment to, so, but most definitely. What's up, everybody? We got Andre in the house from that OP. Next to this 66. What's up, Emperor Titan? I am. Jeremiah, Darren, Reflection, Merc, Babe, West Combs in the house. West Combs, I about to put you on blast about your purchase, but I ain't gonna put you on blast. That's your business, Mr. West. Mr. West Combs in the building. Yep. Nakaya Jones, Straight Panther in his house. Imani Ite, what's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Not Two Saints. It's only on Instagram at the moment, and I'm of course doing my best to make sure that I, finish my website and have it to where it's accessible to all. But I am aware that, Instagram is not like a monster. It's no different from a website. And I get it. Some people like only want to order things in a certain way. That's cool. Cause I'm also of a space of like, if you're not able to order off of Instagram, then I guess you probably wasn't meant to get a piece. Cause it's like a halfway thing. It's like, oh, you gotta meet me way over here. It's like, well, I got my stuff set up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could either come shop here, or you don't have. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. Cause, you know, uh, like that energy of just, you know, compassion, compassion. But at the same time, realness though, it's like, if you could watch a live video on the internet, you could create an Instagram account just to send me a message. You ain't even gotta follow nobody or none of that shit. Even if they try to make you, you just go straight to universal frequencies, send me a message. You ain't gotta deal with all that other shit. You know, feel like it would be no difference from tapping in with with the website. But again, until further notice, everything is through the IG. Epic Lifestyles. What's up, Miss Amber? But that's basically it, guys. Y'all know what it is. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Again, remember for the videos, like and subscribe. For the algorithm, so the videos could show up, and that's any and all videos. If you catch yourself watching a little old classic video that may be relevant to the now moment, whatever, making sure you hit the like button, share if you want to share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post new videos. Of course, any and all donations greatly appreciated. Donation links are underneath all of the videos. Uh, if you're looking for pieces, matter of fact, got a 33% off sale today too. I may extend it to 11:11 tonight. It was stopped at 11:11 a.m., but I may just let it flow, to the last 11:11. So 11:11 at 11:11 tonight be the sales in. So definitely check in on that if you're interested. You know, again with the ordering process, having PayPal, Cash App ready. Whenever you inquire, be ready to deal with the full process of picking out your item, and calculating and sending funds, and then also uh, get sending the address, get all that together, and it takes 3 to 21 days for shipping. So you have to be aware of that. That's another thing. That's why I had to start saying that, like 3 to 21 days. It's not automatically gonna be shipped the next day, but it will be shipped in those 3 to 21 days. So you gotta be aware that when you go to order, that's what it is. But most definitely, man. Peace. Now the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace.